You keep waking up in the middle of the night, again and again, and it's stealing your rest. Left unchecked, this habit can quietly drain your energy, focus, and health over time. Today, you'll discover the simple yet powerful changes that can help you finally sleep through the night. I've met so many people who believe waking up multiple times at night to go to the bathroom is simply part of getting older. They shrug it off, adjust their schedules, and even joke about it. But here's the truth. While occasional nighttime trips can happen to anyone, constantly waking up, sometimes 3, 4, or more times, isn't just normal aging. It's a sign your body is trying to tell you something and it's worth listening. Imagine this. Your alarm clock is set for 7 a.m., but instead of a full night's rest, you're interrupted again and again. You might fall back asleep, but it's never deep, never truly restorative. You wake up groggy, your mood feels flat, and no amount of coffee seems to clear the fog. This is not just about losing sleep. It's about losing energy, focus, and vitality that you need for your daily life. I'm going to make you a promise right now. By the end of this journey, I'll share not only the main reason behind this frustrating habit, but also a bonus tip that can dramatically improve your results, something most people overlook, yet it can make all the difference. This isn't about complicated medical jargon or extreme lifestyle changes. It's about simple, natural adjustments that anyone can make starting today. The mistake that's keeping you up all night is more common than you think, and it hides in everyday habits, some so ingrained we barely notice them. Think about the typical American evening routine: a late dinner with a tall glass of iced tea or soda, a salty snack while watching TV, maybe even a dessert coffee, because why not? It's decaf. These little choices, especially in the hours before bed, set the stage for restless nights. You might be thinking, but I drink plenty of water. That's healthy. And yes, staying hydrated is essential. But timing, quantity, and the type of liquids matter more than most people realize. Too much of the wrong thing at the wrong time, and your bladder becomes the star of your night, whether you like it or not. What many don't realize is that this isn't just about inconvenience. Poor sleep impacts your immune system, your hormones, and even your long-term brain health. That's why getting to the root of this problem is so important. This isn't about being dramatic. It's simply about understanding that quality sleep is one of the strongest pillars of good health, and constant interruptions chip away at it. Over the next few minutes, I'll take you step by step through the surprising factors that could be forcing your bladder to wake you up. You'll learn about hidden triggers in common foods, the way your body processes fluids, and how seemingly harmless evening habits can lead to long-term patterns. These aren't scare tactics, just facts that will give you control over your nights again. And remember, at the very end, that extra tip I promised? It's something so simple you could start doing it tonight, and it can amplify every other change we talk about. But before we get there, we need to uncover what's happening inside your body that's turning your nights into a series of bathroom trips. The next step is one of the most important parts of this journey. Skipping it won't just slow your results. It might even cause your efforts to backfire in unexpected ways. When you're lying in bed, your body is supposed to be in repair mode, muscles recovering, cells regenerating, the brain filing away memories and clearing out waste. But if you keep waking up to pee, you're interrupting those critical processes over and over again. You might not think a few minutes here and there matter, but the quality of sleep you lose is far more damaging than you realize. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside. During the day, your kidneys filter blood and create urine at a steady pace, influenced by your activity level, what you eat, and what you drink. At night, production should naturally slow down, allowing your bladder to rest while you sleep. But certain triggers, especially in the evening, signal your kidneys to keep working full speed, or even faster. The result? Your bladder fills up, and you wake up. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You might think caffeine is the main culprit, and you'd be partly right. That late cup of coffee or strong iced tea can definitely stimulate your bladder, but it's not the only player. Sodium, yes, the salt in your favorite evening snacks, can pull water into your bloodstream, increasing urine production hours later. In other words, that big bowl of popcorn during a movie could be why you're up at 2 a.m. And there's another layer most people miss: Some drinks that feel light or hydrating, like certain flavored waters, actually contain hidden caffeine or sweeteners that act as mild diuretics. You think you're helping your body, but you're really giving it one more reason to wake you. This is why I say the problem isn't just about what you're drinking, but also about what you're eating before bed. For many in the US, dinner is the largest meal of the day, often loaded with sodium-heavy sauces, fried foods, and sugary desserts. Pair that with a late-night beverage, and you've created the perfect storm for nighttime urination. You don't have to overhaul your diet completely to see improvement. Even small shifts, like moving your main hydration window earlier in the day and reducing salty snacks at night, can lead to big changes. This isn't theory. It's something I've seen work again and again. People who once woke up 4 or 5 times now sleep through the night simply because they adjusted their timing and portion sizes. But before you rush to make changes, it's important to understand that there's an even more subtle mistake that can undo all your efforts if you're not aware of it. You could reduce caffeine, cut back on salt, and still find yourself waking up. That's because the real key lies not just in what and when you consume, but in how your body adapts to those patterns over time. This is why the next insight is so critical. Missing it won't just limit your progress. It could lead to frustrating nights where you feel like you've tried everything, but nothing works. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover next. By now, you already know that late-night drinks and salty foods can push your bladder into overdrive. But there's a hidden factor in this story, one that slips into your routine without you even noticing, and it might be the real reason your sleep is being hijacked. It's not just about what you drink. It's about a combination of what you eat, and when you eat it, that creates a chain reaction inside your body. Let's start with something many people in the US do almost automatically: pairing a salty or processed evening snack with a drink. Think of a handful of pretzels and a soda while watching your favorite show, or a slice of leftover pizza before bed. These foods are loaded not only with sodium, but also with refined carbohydrates that affect your blood sugar. When your blood sugar spikes and then drops, your body tries to restore balance, pulling fluids into your bladder as part of the process. This means you're not only dealing with the direct effects of sodium, but also with an internal balancing act that triggers extra urination. Here's another twist. Many processed or convenience foods in the American diet contain additives that have a mild diuretic effect, ingredients designed to preserve flavor, texture, or shelf life. You wouldn't think twice about them because they're in everything from canned soups to salad dressings. But over time, they can contribute to more frequent trips to the bathroom, especially if consumed regularly in the hours before bed. And then there's the caffeine you don't even realize you're consuming. We all know coffee and tea contain it, but so do many sodas, chocolate products, energy bars, and even some decaf coffees, which still carry small amounts. That means your quiet evening snack could be secretly priming your bladder to keep you awake later. The big problem is that this combination of sodium, hidden caffeine, and certain additives isn't just about filling your bladder. It's about disrupting your body's natural rhythm. Your kidneys get the message to work harder, your bladder fills faster, and instead of resting, your body is in processing mode when it should be in repair mode. One of the simplest changes you can make is to pay attention to what's on your plate in the 2 to 3 hours before bed. Opt for fresh whole foods, like a small bowl of berries, a slice of avocado toast, or a handful of unsalted nuts, rather than processed snacks. You might think it's too small a change to matter, but for many, this single shift has dramatically reduced nighttime bathroom visits. It's not about restriction or giving up the things you love forever. It's about making your evenings a safe zone for your bladder. The earlier you enjoy those salty or caffeinated treats, the more time your body has to process them before sleep. And the more your body can rest, the more energy and focus you'll have during the day. But here's the thing. Making this change alone won't completely solve the problem if you're still falling into one very common trap that most people never think about. In fact, you could be doing everything right with your evening routine and still be sabotaging yourself without knowing it. That's exactly what we'll uncover next, and ignoring it won't just slow your progress. It could quietly undo all the benefits you've worked for and even create new problems you didn't expect. There's a subtle mistake that trips up even those who are careful about their diet and drink choices. It's not about what you consume before bed. It's about how your hydration is distributed throughout the day. Many people don't realize that the timing of fluid intake can be just as important as the type of fluids they drink. Think about your day. For many, mornings start with a coffee or tea, maybe a small glass of water. Then hours pass with just a few sips here and there. By late afternoon, you realize you haven't had much to drink, so you start catching up on hydration. That often means multiple glasses of water, a beverage with dinner, and maybe another drink afterward. While your intention is good, you want to meet your daily water needs, you're unintentionally setting yourself up for a restless night. Here's why. Your kidneys don't store water, they filter it. When you flood your system with a large amount of fluid in a short time, your body reacts quickly to eliminate the excess. If this happens in the hours before bed, that elimination will likely happen while you're sleeping. Instead of giving your bladder a light workload at night, you've just handed it the equivalent of an overnight shift. This isn't just theory, it's basic physiology. When fluid intake is spread evenly throughout the day, your body processes it more efficiently, reducing the strain on your bladder after dark. But when the bulk of hydration happens late, your body has no choice but to wake you up to finish the job. And this timing issue doesn't only apply to water. It applies to all beverages, juice, soda, sports drinks, herbal teas, even soups with high water content. If you've been careful about caffeine and sodium but still can't make it through the night without interruptions, there's a good chance this is the reason. One simple strategy is to front-load your hydration. Aim to get the majority of your daily fluids by mid-afternoon, then gradually taper off as the evening progresses. You don't need to cut fluids entirely, just be mindful. If you do have something to drink later, keep it to small sips and choose options that won't stimulate your bladder. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't require cutting anything out of your life. It's about shifting habits to work with your body's natural rhythm instead of against it. Once you start balancing your hydration this way, you may be surprised how quickly your nights improve. You'll wake feeling more rested, with more energy and mental clarity for your day. But even with this powerful change, there's one more key adjustment that can elevate your results and protect your health in ways you might not expect. Skipping it won't just reduce your chances of sleeping soundly. It could leave you dealing with new challenges that are entirely avoidable. That's what we'll dive into next, and it's a step you absolutely don't want to overlook. By now, you've adjusted your evening food choices, reduced hidden triggers, and shifted your hydration earlier in the day. Those steps alone can create real improvements, but there's a way to take it even further. The truth is, your bladder's nighttime activity isn't only about what you consume. It's also influenced by the signals your body receives before you go to bed. And those signals can either prepare you for a night of uninterrupted rest or keep your system on high alert. Think about your evening environment. For many people, nighttime is anything but calm. You might be scrolling through your phone under bright light, watching intense TV shows, or finishing up work emails late into the night. This constant stimulation affects your nervous system, keeping it in a more active state. And when your nervous system is activated, it can influence your bladder's sensitivity, making it more likely to send time-to-go signals even when it's not truly full. This is why relaxation is not just a luxury. It's a physiological necessity for better sleep and fewer bathroom trips. When your body shifts into a calmer state before bed, your muscles, including those controlling the bladder, relax. Your kidneys also respond to these cues, slightly slowing urine production in preparation for rest. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Certain natural beverages, when consumed earlier in the day or in small amounts well before bedtime, can train your body's rhythm. For example, mild herbal teas like chamomile or lemon balm, if taken in moderation and not right before sleep, can help promote relaxation and reduce nighttime awakenings. It's not about using them as a drink right before bed, but rather about incorporating them into your afternoon routine so their calming effects linger into the evening without flooding your bladder at night. You can also support this with food choices that encourage a stable blood sugar level in the evening. Steady blood sugar helps prevent nighttime spikes in kidney activity. This could be something as simple as having a balanced dinner with lean protein, healthy fats, and a modest portion of whole grains, while avoiding heavy salty sauces or fried foods late in the day. And here's a practical step many overlook. Light, gentle stretching or breathing exercises before bed. A few minutes spent focusing on slow, deep breaths can signal your entire body, including your bladder, to relax. This might sound too simple to matter, but when paired with your other changes, it becomes part of a powerful routine that sets you up for better nights. None of these steps are extreme, and none require giving up the things you enjoy. It's about creating a natural balance that works with your body's design. Once you make these shifts, you might be surprised to find that your body learns the pattern, and your bladder begins to wait until morning. But there's still one final piece to this puzzle. Without it, even your best efforts might fall short, and you could still wake up at night wondering why the problem hasn't fully gone away. This last step is the key to making all the changes stick and protecting your health in the long run. Ignoring it won't just limit your results. It could leave you dealing with effects you could have easily prevented. All the changes we've discussed so far, adjusting your diet, shifting hydration earlier, avoiding hidden triggers, and preparing your body for rest, are like individual pieces of a puzzle. They each help, but they work best when they're connected by one final crucial habit: the way you finish your day. This is where the real mistake hiding in plain sight comes to light. Most people, even after making healthier choices, still consume their final drink of the day too close to bedtime. It might be just a small glass of water, a sleepy time tea, or even milk, thinking it's harmless. But the reality is that any liquid consumed within the last 2 to 3 hours before sleep has a high chance of disrupting your night, no matter how healthy it is. The key is not to deprive yourself, but to strategically taper off. By making your final substantial drink earlier, you give your body enough time to process fluids before you're in deep sleep. That way, your bladder isn't nudging you awake in the middle of the night. It's a simple shift in timing that can make a massive difference. Now, I promised at the very start that I'd share a bonus tip, a step that can amplify all your other efforts. Here it is, a brief, 3-minute combination of gentle stretching and focused breathing right before bed. Start by lying down or sitting comfortably. Inhale slowly for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. And pause for 2 before repeating. Combine this with a light pelvic and lower back stretch. This sequence helps relax the muscles around the bladder and pelvis, reduces tension, and signals your entire system that it's safe to rest deeply. When paired with the timing changes we've discussed, it can dramatically improve your ability to sleep through the night. This isn't about chasing perfection. It's about giving your body the conditions it needs to work as it was designed. Nighttime urination doesn't have to be a permanent part of your life. With small, thoughtful changes, you can reclaim uninterrupted nights and wake with more energy, focus, and peace of mind. Remember, your health is an ongoing investment. Knowledge is powerful, but action is where transformation happens. Every time you make one of these changes, you're not just improving your sleep, you're protecting your long-term well-being. So, start tonight. Give your body the right signals, respect your natural rhythms, and watch as your nights begin to transform. Because when you sleep well, everything else in life feels easier, brighter, and more possible. And that's the kind of change worth sharing with others. Because someone you know may be losing sleep over the same mistake, and now you have the power to help them.